And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. I apologize for the extended break, but we have returned with our second series of the night. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing... representing himself as he is seamless. It is DRG. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss representing Root Gaming. He just took down Trigger 2-1. It is fullheart. And you may be wondering, how did fullheart beat Trigger with this? With cannons. The Forge has been thrown down. We did have a cannon rush that did end up beating or killing Trigger in a crazy game. I could not believe my eyes, could not believe what was happening. And the cannons continue as the pylon is thrown down. DRG does see the pylon himself, is aware of what is going on. Oh, the boys are being pulled though to shut down the pylon. And can fullheart make his magic happen again? I also got another update. Earlier, and I believe Dolan also 2-0'd hero. Let's go. Hold on. I need to... you know what? I'm going to message Dolan because I'm so sad that we missed the series. I barely didn't catch it. And, Okay, we're good. So now, cannons are on the way. Gateway is thrown down as well. The cannons are going to be finishing. Of course, fullheart is aware of the unnatural natural that has been thrown down, and back at home they have a gas geyser. We are looking to take up a little bit and to keep this cannon rush going. Oh boy, here we go. So for now, we do see DRG did pull back. Upon realizing that he could not deal with this cannon rush, he did go back to mining. Is taking 2 gases, going straight into a Roach Warren as well. So again, a very mature decision here out of DRG. Did force some lost mining time, that is true, but regardless, Roach Warren is on the way. Meanwhile, fullheart, once the Cybercore finishes, do we go for a Robo or a Stargate? That is the question. That's the question with where this is kind of headed here. But now, there we go. We're just going to be prioritizing gas mining. It's going to be 2 gases. We don't have any drones here on the low ground. I think we're aware that, again, this is going to go down at some point. Stalker is on the way. Cannons are encroaching. Show us our tech. I imagine Robo. For now, a shield battery. Overlord is going to be sent back. Overlord is forced back in the end. And yeah, DRG, he will eventually break free. Like, these roaches are on the way. Unfortunately, these cannons, they just haven't really been threatening anything. So DRG, he's chilling. Like, there's nothing really... Yeah. So this cannon rush didn't really accomplish much. The cannon rush, it created this staging ground, don't get me wrong, in between the bases, but creep is spreading, Ravagers are on the way, more Ravagers as well. Once they get up and running, I mean, we're going to be able to chip away at this outpost. Cannons and shield batters, they are under threat, and we aren't really gaining any ground here. I'm worried for fullheart. I'm worried. We're just focusing on Ravager production. 2 more roaches on the way to eventually be turned into Ravagers. Cannon's almost going down. There it is. Robo is now on the way, but it just feels so delayed. Files will connect. And we only have 2 pylons here. Once this pylon falls, like, this place is going to be so vulnerable. Behind this, like, no layer tech. We're not going for a Nidus across the map. We're just hyperfixated here on this army. Oh, well, good amount of damage on that Ravager. We get the pylon. That's a second pylon being thrown down. Plus transfuse there on the Ravager, keeping it alive. Hasn't lost anything yet so far. No dead Ravagers. We just bow down the cannon, the shield battery. Like, the fact that we can morph in Ravagers here on the right hand side, we don't have to worry about pushing down the ramp, is just such a big deal. Another cannon, another clutch transfuse. Only Lings have died so far. Yeah, we're going for the final pylon. It will go down, depowering everything. The prism does not finish. GG gets called, and DRG completely shuts this down. Oh my god, that was impressive. And I do think a big part of this defense was the fact that DRG could morph in Ravagers and Roaches on the low ground. He didn't have to worry about pushing down the ramp, pushing down a choke point. He was already on the low ground instead, and yeah, was able to wreak havoc and clean up fullheart without too much issue. Was able to clean him up. And with that, DRG does take game number 1. Oh, everyone's coming in. Here we go. I should do. My apologies. I had the wrong way. I had the race set up for Trigger versus fullheart earlier. Have just fixed up DRG instead. Chat, I thought fullheart was back to playing StarCraft. I thought so as well. That's what I heard, but apparently not. Apparently not. It's spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardlead. We have the South Korean Zerg player, currently teamless, but leading the series 1-0. It is DRG. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Cannon Rusher himself, representing Root Gaming, the American Protoss. It is fullheart. Go. As Pig has gone off to find another series. I don't blame him. A lot of casters are in this at the moment. I think a lot of casters assumed that it would be Trigger versus DRG. They just assumed that would happen. Another cannon rush, by the way. Forge is thrown down. As fullheart is going to be moving out across the map. So far, the pylon has been thrown down. Once again, fullheart looking to set up an outpost here in between the bases, not really threatening the hatchery even. I wonder how he's going to adjust. I wonder what his plan is going to be here. Gateway's thrown down already. Immediately, we have a gas geyser and a spawning pool as a response. I mean, we're just getting into a hatch gas pool. Hatch gas pool opener here from DRG. First cannon is thrown down. Again, with this cannon, we are just kind of cutting off these bases from each other. Now, this is going to be a little bit better here because this time fullheart has the high ground. He can actually like take control of this ramp essentially and make it difficult for DRG to push up the ramp as well. But I mean, he has an overload in position. He has high ground vision as well. We'll see how this does turn out. Second gas geyser is being taken. As soon as the spawning pool is done, we should be throwing down a Roach Warren. Second cannon is on the way. Cybercore thrown down. A much faster Cybercore this time. A much faster transition. As that is the second gateway on the way as well. Meanwhile, DRG, again, he's not wasting any time with Lings. He has a Queen on the way. Going straight for that Roach Warren as well. He knows that he's under no threat in his main base. So he's free to just, yeah, get into Roaches. Just like the previous game. Cool, calm, and collected. Also not really spending any of the lava here on workers, preserving this lava for Roaches. Shield battery is on the way. Roach Warren's now done, and Roaches are in production here at that natural. So again, it's really interesting how DRG does it. Basically, he only produces from the low ground hatchery. From the high ground, we got drones, we got overlords. Not much else. First Ravager's on the way. There's the second and the third Ravager. More Roaches being produced. Again, the main base, we're only making Overlords. And maybe one more drone. Second Queen has popped out. The Ravager's on the way. DRG does not quite have... Yeah, he does pull back with his Overlord. He doesn't have high ground vision. He's coming in from the right-hand side. He's trying to get some. Oh. So far, fullheart with these Stalkers does maintain control here of the high ground. Additional Stalkers are on the way. I have to be careful not to overextend. The Transfuse, building up that Ravager count. Still only Overlord from the main base. We're up to, what, 3, soon to be 6 Ravagers. 7th Ravager on the way. I love that we're pulling back. Like, we're using this hatchery as a resource. It can tank a couple of hits. It can tank some shots. Low link speed. There we go. Ling's now in production in the main. And we're going for a counterattack. It looks like DRG, he respects his position. Overlord is going to go down. Fullheart now pushing into the main base. We're going for a bit of a base trade. There's only one pylon here, and these 7 Ravagers, they depower and take down the cannon. They push into the main. Back at home, Lings are trying to keep up here, and Fullheart, can he pull this off? No! DRG killing and supply blocking himself. Oof, can't make anything more. Overlord during production. This is disastrous. Losing that Overlord was huge. But the Ravager, they do bust in. They take down a lot of workers here. 0 mining going on. Main base is going to go down. Fullheart, he has enough resources to throw down a ninja base. Meanwhile, the main base of DRG under fire. And drones are going down. Every single worker here is falling. DRG does have 3 more drones in production here on the low ground. As the probes, they've recalled back home. The probes are recalled back home. We resume mining. And the Stalkers, they get here just in time. And Fullheart, he's pulling this off. Takes down a queen, takes down a second. The cannon's putting in a lot of work. Every queen goes down. Now we can focus on the Ravagers. And it looks like Fullheart should clean this up. And just like against Trigger, GG gets called. Fullheart ties up the series 1-1. Oh my god. Is he going to beat DRG like he beat Trigger? No shot. Really, again, we're just really proving the fact that we already knew this. If you wanted to not just be GM, if you wanted to take down some top tier players like, you know, Trigger, Zest, DRG, the best of the best, cannon rush back. Just cannon rush. That's all you got to do. Cannon rush with 100 APM, papi. That's all you need. That's all you need. As we are now getting ready for Game 3 for the Ace match. Now, to put emphasis on what just happened, a big reason as to how Fullheart was able to pull that off was the fact that he had high ground. We mentioned at the time that because DRG did take the triangular third base, because he was stuck with at a low ground disadvantage, pushing up into those cannons and shield batteries was much more difficult here on hard lead than it was on Oceanborn. On Oceanborn, it was all on even ground. It was all on even playing field. So he didn't have to worry about high ground vision. Here he did. And now, here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris. We have the South Korean Zerg player forced into the ace match. It is DRG. And spawning in the bottom left, we have his opponent. We have the American Protoss, once again going for a Forge first. Going for a cannon rush, representing Root Gaming, it is Fullheart. Now, I imagine DRG is going to expand here instead. So, very similar setup. If DRG takes the triangular third base as his natural, he's going to have to deal with this ramp, and it's going to be so difficult to deal with the proxy that's going to be here in between the bases. So, DRG, he may be forced to expand here at the linear base location instead. I am curious, as he's going for a pull first. Okay. There's a Forge for the cannon rush. Pull first out of DRG. No expansion. No expansion whatsoever. As in the midst of all this chaos, Fullheart, he throws down the pylon, going for a gateway. The cannon rush is upon us. DRG, though, he's going for a one-base response. It looks like he's caught on. He's like, I understand. You just cannon rush. That's all you do. Oh. He is going to be going for a low ground expand as well. A much later expansion, bearing in mind that because of the faster spawning pool, we will have a faster Roach Warren, and there it is. Roach Warren is on the way. First Gas Geyser as well. So this is going to be much faster roaches here from DRG compared to the previous game. Gases are being taken. Lings are out already. This outpost shouldn't really be under too much issue or under too much threat, but the Lings, they go straight for the probe and they can get across the map. Probe goes down. The Lings are going to be moving out as well. So again, a very different reaction here. Because it was a pull first, faster Roach Warren, we make 4 Lings. We ignore this this cannon rush location. We're just going across the map instead. Cannon still on the way. It's not going to finish in time. We have to pull the boys. Uh-oh. The wall is... okay, it is a wall. I thought there was a little a gap there. We try to focus down the cyber core, but the cannon should finish in time. We should force this back. Meanwhile, back at home, first Ravagers in production. Wings pull back. Ravagers on the way. Second Ravager as well. We're going for a proxy robo this time, not a second gateway. Interesting choice here out of fullheart. They'll be chipping away at that queen. This cannon's going to go down. The queen falls, but we get the cannon. This is Nartosis Pylon. Uh-oh. There is Nartosis Pylon, and it is under threat here. The Ravagers are trying to focus on whatever they can. They get the probe. Probe goes down. And now with 3 Ravagers, we can shut this down. We can. Oh no, he loses one. He does lose a Ravager. The Pylon, it's so low. We're waiting for another Bile. And there it is. The final Biles. We shut down the proxy. GG gets called, and DRG takes a series 2-1, taking down fullheart. GG, a much stronger response here. Going for the pool first, delaying his hatchery. And yeah, we saw that this time, because fullheart didn't go for a second gateway, he didn't have enough stalkers to actually protect that location. The Biles, they went ham, and we were able to... I think what was really interesting there is that, again, DRG, he wasn't hyper fixated on killing the pylons. He was biling the pylons, but he was focusing down the probes. He killed the probes first to make sure that we couldn't throw down any more pylons or anything like that, or keep it going. And then, of course, we did then focus on depowering everything else. GG, well played. DRG will take the series, will advance on into the next round.